Okay. Hello, y'all. You can't see my face. I'm not going to let anybody see my face, even though my face is attached to something else. But it's okay. Um, this is Precious Jim. This is my first time doing this. This is not something I do on a regular at all. This is my very first time ever in my life doing a live video. But I feel in my spirit I got to. I'm being nudged to do it in my spirit, so to speak. When I say in my spirit, it means that ever since I was a little girl, I've been able to sense things and see things. I have dreams, visions in my dreams, things of that nature. But more than anything, I sense stuff. I feel stuff. I'm very new at this, and I try to stay away from that kind of world right now because of me being a babe in that area. But I'm gonna move away from that. That's not the purpose of this video. For everybody or anybody that's connected more directly than myself with K420, Straight Drop, Bad Barbie 24/7, or anybody like them, please re-record this. Please repost it, put it up and out everywhere. It is for them and the people who believe in them and believe in what they're standing for. Let me also say that I am by no means being paid for this. I don't care for money in that way. This is not to discredit anyone. This is not to bring any harm to anyone. This is not, I'm not going to put names out. I don't do that. I'm gonna need y'all to get some paper, pencils. You're gonna have to take notes on a few things. Just write down a few things, mainly numbers. This is what I'm feeling in my spirit. I do not and have not, nor do I have the time to watch all these videos about this case. I have tuned in on a few people. I'll start watching them. This is how it's gone for me. I'll start a video that's linked to this case, and if I don't feel in my spirit that what they're saying is, if I don't feel the core of it in the core of my body and my spirit, I will get off that video. I won't watch it. There are certain people who I watch, and I've named a few already. And really, I don't even really watch Straight Drop like that. The only person I really watch is K420. Shout out to you, baby. I really wanted to email you the information personally or talk to you actually personally on the phone. And I felt like I wasn't going to be able to get through in time. And I was right, because I was on your live this morning. And you've already been poisoned with this metadata stuff. Let me tell you something, sweetheart. Don't believe that. Yes, they might be doing certain things to try to establish social network laws. I do believe that. And to take away some of our current freedoms. But don't believe that this Jenkins case was something that they put out in Europe years ago. Do not believe that. You got to learn to look behind the lies, the truths that are lies behind the mess that they pulling. Do not believe it. It is to cause dissension amongst, especially people like yourself, who have folks, thousands of people who follow you on the social networks. It's to cause dissension and confusion so that we will leave this mess alone. Do not leave it alone. Do not stop. Keep going. Keep it moving. Keep pushing. Keep fighting, because there will be justice for Kennekas. Now, with that having been said, I'm finna move on. I'm gonna give a few numbers out. There are a lot of people like Kate and Straight Drop and stuff who have been hardcore. They've lost sleep. They have, you know, pushed aside many aspects of their personal life in order to pay attention to this case. And it's not in vain. It will not be in vain. I'm kind of nervous, y'all. This is my first time doing this. No one understands something. The powers that be, the dots that y'all have connected on the heavy hitters, y'all are so close. It's ridiculous. And this is why they are now doing things and posting things and putting stuff out there, because they know that certain people, if it's not you yourselves, people around you who work with you, who will do the research and find this stuff and say, oh, look, this is bullcrap. This is fake. This is no. That no, and no. Leave it alone. That ain't, don't even entertain it. Okay? Let me give y'all some numbers. Let me get back to Kennekas. Kennekas, her passing was a Pyrrhic victory. When I say Pyrrhic victory, P-U-R-I-C, look it up. Pyrrhic victory is a victory gained at too great of a cost. The great of the cost was, starting with her passing, there are people on the lower end, whether they know it or not, whose lives are going to be threatened, whose lives have probably already been threatened, whose lives who might be in danger because they know certain things. It's going to be to shut people up. Any losses that come within that realm is what I mean when I say too great of a cost. But the victory is going to be that this young lady's passing is going to not only shed light, but those who have been untouchable up to this point are now finna start getting touched. It might not be directly, it might be indirectly, meaning that it might be somebody they are related to, friends with, or business partners, or what have you. There are going to be people who are big wigs who are going to start to fall. Okay? When people start talking, when stuff starts coming out, and that's going to be within the next 6 months. I'm feeling in my spirit that's what it is. That's the number I'm getting for that. Write that down, within the next 6 to 8 months, I would say. I don't even think it's going to take that long. But the next 6 months at least, at minimum, some major stuff is going to start coming out and coming to light. Okay? They are saying this case is closed. It may be right now, but it's not going to stay that way, y'all, because it's too much attention around it. They're not going to be able to let it stay that way. Too many people are going to start coming out, rallying, getting together, and backing up the fact that it's so much going on in that town, in that state, around that young lady's environment that is so wrong and so illegal. They're not going to be able to ignore it. Okay? Now, there are at minimum 5 people who actually laid hands on Kennekas. When I say laid hands on her, they actually touched her in some kind of way, hit her, kicked her, raped her, pushed her, pulled her, did something physically on her physical body. They touched her some kind of way, moved her, or whatever they did. Whatever their role part was, it's at least 5. It's at least 7 to 10 people directly involved, from the Mickeys that she was slipped, and she was slipped some Mickeys. Yes, most youngsters, try weed and stuff like that. That's a given. Come on now. Let's not all gather around and act like, oh my God, she was doing drugs and ooh. Okay, people try stuff. There's some people in their 30s, 40s, 50s who know they know better still doing stuff and trying stuff. So come on now, move around with that one. But anyway, they slipped her some Mickeys, okay? They drugged her. Now, it was 7 to 10 people involved when it comes to that, from the inside the room situations and things that went on to her being found in that freezer. Okay? Now, I said a few minutes ago that a lot of people who have not been touched are going to start getting touched. Okay. There are a lot of things and rings of things that have gone on around Kennekas' environment. And when I say environment, I'm not saying her home, her house. I'm not saying that. Her school, her job, I'm not saying that. So don't nobody take this and try to turn my words around and all that kind of stuff. No, I'm making it very clear. That's and concise. That's the kind of person I am. That's how I roll. So don't try to change nothing. I'm saying what I'm saying, period. In her environment, meaning city, state, okay? In her environment, that is not right. It's way not right. There's a lot of illegal stuff going on, and part of getting her to that party and to that room was to introduce to her or try to get her to participate in some of that. When she didn't want to participate in it and she turned it down, I think that's when things became what they became. Now, back to the big wigs, because that stuff is going to play out. It's going to play itself out. That's why I'm jumping around. It seems like I'm jumping around, but I'm leading up to something. When things do open back up, when things do really start coming out and falling, it's going to happen in clusters, y'all. It's not going to be no 1 or 2 people here, 3, 4 people over there. No, it's going to happen in clusters. When I say clusters, that means it's going to be a group of people of 5 or more, at the minimum 5 or more, that are going to be coming down in sectors. It's going to happen in sectors. You know how they have this song that make it rain or whatever, or this saying make it rain. It's going to rain like that. Along with that, it's going to be 1 or 2 people. 1 or 2 people out of these big players, these higher up folks, that's actually going to commit suicide, y'all, or attempt it. Because up until this point, they haven't been touched. They have been a part of or linked to somebody who's a part of, or that person linked to somebody who's a part of some illegal stuff that has gone on for so long, and they've never been touched. Well, now you finna start getting touched. And it's not something that I'm saying as a direct threat to nobody. No, I don't threaten nobody. I don't want nobody threatening me and mine. This is what I'm feeling in my spirit, is my opinion. Some people are going to get touched, okay? When I say touched, I'm not saying bodily harm, stuff like that. I'm saying legally, they're going to get touched. And some of them it'll be directly, some of them it's going to be indirectly. And when I say indirectly, I'm speaking of people who they're related to, or they have some type of kinship or friendship with this person, or business partner or something. It's going to be on that end when I say indirectly. But it's going to happen. Those clusters are going to happen. They're going to fall like dominoes. Those clusters are going to happen one by one. Bap, bap, bap. Clusters of people, groups of 5 or more. I said this a few minutes ago. 5 or more. It's going to happen in clusters. And then they're going to start whatever legalities or whatever investigations or whatever on that one cluster. And then that cluster is going to lead to the next one. And that one to the next one, like that. When I say clusters, dominoes fall one by one. Okay. This is happening. This is going to happen in clusters, y'all. Just mark my words. Mark my words. Mark the date that you see this, the time that you watch it, and the numbers I throw out. That's all I'm asking. It's going to happen in clusters, and it's going to happen so fast, and it's going to come so hard that the people who are higher up that are trying to cover up all this stuff, and they smudging, wiping stuff out of videos, and they going through all this trouble, it's all going to be in vain. And it's going to take their minds. I can't even explain it. I can't even put words into it. I'm feeling this so strong. But this is going to happen in clusters, y'all. People are going to come down. When this is all said and done, when it is all over for real, when it is finalized and the fat lady has sung her song, the song that she will sing, Kennekas Jenkins Martin, there are going to be organizations established in her name. There's going to be buildings. There's going to be things, laws probably established and set up in her name, because that's how hard her passing is going to hit the world. That's the impact that it's going to have on all the stuff in her environment that has gone on for years, for months and years, that will no longer go on. It will no longer be able to be ignored. Okay? Mark my words. This young lady will be a martyr. She is a martyr. She didn't want to get involved in certain stuff. Sure, she'll smoke some weed. Sure, she'll, drink some alcohol. Sure, she'll, hang with a dude or two that her parents or family wouldn't approve of or something like that. Most of us all have. That's neither here nor there. Okay? The whole point is she had dreams and goals. This young lady really wanted to do something with her life, positive, more positive, and get out of that environment that she was in. Okay? Mama Teresa, power to you, Mama. I am a breast cancer survivor, okay, of stage 3. When I do some more videos later on, years down the line, it's going to be on that, because I also believe that they're putting stuff out here on purpose. It ain't that much cancer in the world. Come on, y'all. Ain't that much hereditary cancer in the world either. But that's for another day. Mama Teresa, I tip my hat to you. I know what it is to fight that fight. And then to turn around and lose a child, I can't relate on that, but I tip my hat to you. It's going to be all right, Mama. It's going to be all right. You hang in there. It's going to be all right. Trust and believe. It's going to be all right. Your baby had to pass. And I'm starting to cry, y'all. I'm sorry, but this is ridiculous. Your baby had to pass in order for the events coming up to happen, in order for the doors to be open, in order for the world to be awakened. And we already awake to some degree, but not to the degree that we need to be, not to the depths that we need to be, okay, on this organ trafficking and prostitution and drugging and all this illegal activity that's going on in that environment. It had to happen, because it's this baby's passing. It's finna bring down some walls and some people with it that have been a part of some very ugly stuff that has gone on. Okay? Okay. I told y'all it's at least 5 people at minimum who directly laid hands on Kennekas. It's 7 to 10 people altogether involved, from the room to the kitchen. Probably more, but at least 7 to 10. And I told you that things are going, bits of information and investigation are going to happen in clusters. People are going to come down in clusters. When I say clusters, I ain't talking about 2 or 3 people. I'm talking about clusters. I'm talking about 5 or more people in each group. This group is going to be brought down, and then this group going to help bring this group down, and so on and so forth. Okay, I mentioned 6 months time span, between 6 and 8, but I'm really somewhere feeling up in the 6-month area where some real stuff gonna start coming alive. Kate, don't give up, don't stop, don't stay off of all that metadata stuff. They know where they trying to pull you with that, because you got a bunch of followers, a bunch of them. Stop it, baby. Stop. Stay off of that. Stay away from it. That ain't what it is. That is to cause dissension. Please hear what I'm saying. Please hear what I'm saying. What I'm putting out right now in this video, I was going to give to you personally. But when I saw that live this morning, I couldn't do it. I couldn't help it. I had to find another way to get this information to y'all. You, Straight Drop, Bad Barbie, 24/7. I'm sorry. There's a bunch of stuff going on. It ain't just Chi-Town, y'all. It's all over the United States. It's a lot of stuff going down. They trying to get on this population control, all this stuff. That's where all these cancers are coming in at. Once they figured out that these herbicides that they use on the vegetation that they sell, that we buy, fruits and vegetables we buy in the store, once they realized that stuff was so heavily linked to cancer, man, you would think they would stop, but they didn't. They pushed it more so the pharmaceutical companies can make money. So, it's a chain that goes on and on and on and on and on. But what is for God's people is for them, and He can't stop them. You can't stop it. And this is why I feel so strongly about this case. It's almost throwing up out of me. I have told my children, my grandchildren, that every time they look at me, Granny, you what? Yes, I am going to watch it all the way to the end, because I want to see confirmation of my own spiritual feelings and leadings that I'm feeling. This young lady's passing is going to blow the doors open on a whole bunch of people and a whole bunch of illegal crap that's been going on. And that's why all this cover-up has been going on. That's why they took forever to get the tapes out. And then you're going to turn around and put this young lady's passing pictures in that freezer out on social media like that. It's like, really, ugh. But anyway, it's all right. It's not going to, y'all trying so hard to cover up stuff, and it's not going to happen. Like, it's way more of us. I've heard you say this, Kate. It's way more of us out here than it is of them. All we got to do is pull together and stand together, and don't let them knock us down, man. And that's it, and that's all. But remember, at least 5 people directly, 7 to 10 people throughout the whole thing, from the slipping the Mickey to the freezer. And things are going to happen in clusters. This case is going to get busted open in clusters. People are going to get brought down in clusters, y'all. 5 or more people. I ain't talking about 2 people here, 1 person over there. Everything they're going through and they doing, it's not going to work. Y'all get this to the right people. And, I'm not asking for nobody to subscribe. I'm not out here like that. This is not something that I do. Keep your negative comments or whatever. We're all entitled to our own opinion. But if you're going to be negative about it, keep it to yourself. If you are going to voice it, do it in a constructive manner. I'm not scared of it. I ain't tripping. I don't expect everybody to agree with me. I know how the world works in reality. Okay, so, but get this to Kate. I need her to know and understand she got to keep going. She got to keep pushing. Get this to Straight Drop, Bad Barbie, anybody like y'all. I'm with y'all. We behind y'all. Don't let them cause dissension, y'all. Peace.